Now I live on a Postage stamp in Griffin, Georgia, and so I don't have much. I'm gonna walk around and show you. Now this is over a catch-all bucket. You'll see a little bit of a juba, or whatever you call it, over there on the left, and the rest of that stuff came out of a stone crop thing I planted in there. See if I get a bunch of it. It grew up all that tall stuff. And so I don't think that's really stone crop. I think I got something else mixed in. And I got one plant coming off of it. Looks like a vine. I think it's a watermelon vine. I guess I dropped a seed in there by mistake doing my other stuff. It might end up having something, but I don't think so. Okay, up here are beans. What happened was, and you'll see these are actually blooming. I bought these things at the Dollar Tree, these buckets, put these little handles on them, put ropes on them, and hung them up here under my shed. And I put some peppers in to begin with. I think this is one, but the peppers didn't do anything, so I just put some beans in them. And this one here's got a bean growing off of it, but it ain't doing much. It's got some blooms coming out on it. So I might get some beans. I got 3 of them things. This one here's got a couple of plants coming up, but they ain't doing nothing. What I used in those containers was mushroom compost. So I don't know if it had anything to do with how bad they're doing. These plants here are water plants. I put me a couple of little comets in there, those goldfish looking things, and put a couple of plants in there. And the comets are to eat the mosquito larvae, and I feed them every day. And the plants was to give them some shade and such, but man, the plants just took off. I've already thrown a bunch of them out in the yard, ran over with the lawnmower, but they keep coming back. So anyhow, and what you'll see over here is some onions. My girlfriend tossed some onions in this bucket, and I threw some dirt on top of them, and they came back up. So anyhow, we'll see what happens. Now right here is what I call my Jehovah's Witness plant. The deal is, there's a Jehovah's Witness place up the street here, and they had a bunch of these out around their sign, and I went up there with a little bitty shovel and dug up a plant out of the middle of it when nobody had noticed it. And man, that thing's grown like weeds. I'm real happy with it. You know, I got me a frog home next to it. Those green plants back there, I don't even know what they are, the tags back there, but I bought them somewhere. They're supposed to be ground cover and grow and fill in this area, which I hope these purple plants do. And that's a camellia bush or something down there. And that growing up behind it is a couple of sunflower plants, I think. I might have dropped some seeds in there here fooling around. And that little bitty patch of weeds there is stone crop. As that weed sticking up back there. I was hoping it'd sort of fill that in. I'm trying to fill in that little area with something. And so I got all that mess growing in there, see what happens, see what it takes. Now I got a little bit of stone crop back here trying to fill in this area, but we'll see. Now over here, we got a mixture of stuff. There's a sunflower plant getting ready to bloom. By the way, I built that birdhouse there out of concrete. Don't know if they've used it yet or not. Don't see no nest in there. And see, there's another sunflower seed. Bush. And this vine-looking thing down here, I thought was watermelon. But I don't know, it's looking like it might be, I don't know if that's squash or gourd. But I'll see when it gets bigger. But it's producing something, which I'm happy about. And you'll see I got me an elephant ear back there. And I got me some beans mixed in. I just stuck them back out there to see what would happen. There's me a corn stalk. And I'm surprised how well the corn's doing over here. On the other side of the yard, I planted some that never even germinated. I forget what I planted in this bucket. I had 3 buckets. I planted squash, watermelon, and a cantaloupe, and all 3 of them, and they've done terrible. And so that one ain't done good. I don't know what's in it. There's another sunflower. See the beans down there behind it. This is some corn. Got some kernels up, not kernels, but silk up here. I don't see any cobs on it yet. I see where 1 or 2 might come up. See where the bean is traveling up it right here. There's a sunflower plant there. I put some stone crop in there, hoping it will spread in that little container down there, and it is spreading a little. Hope it fills it up. There's some more beans. And here's another sunflower. Here's mixture of sunflower and corn. Now, I don't know what that is coming up. That might be a sunflower plant coming up out of that container there. You'll see some beans back here. And they're not blooming. That blue thing with the bloom, I have no idea what it is. Or that. I had some wildflowers back here. That might be part of them. And whatever it is, I don't know. It might be watermelon. Just ain't doing nothing. There's my rabbit ear. My elephant ear is over here. There's a bird feeder. I need to refill. And there's a bird house I just made out of sort of a joke one day. It's a potato can with, plastic potato jar with camouflage cloth wrapped around it. They've been in there, some poop in there, but they've never had to build a nest in it. Here's some more corn here, growing up high. Got some silk, there's a corn cob coming up right there. I see one coming up over there. I don't know if this is cantaloupe or squash. It's got blooms on it. I hope it's cantaloupe. I love cantaloupe. Here's a couple blooms down there. There's some silk coming up off a piece of corn there. And here's one right here. You see the silk? So that's going to be a cob too. I'm looking forward to that. This is my blackberry bush. You see it still has some early blackberries on it. They look red because they turn black after they've been here a while. But man, you'll see a bunch of green ones on there. There was a bunch of blackberries on this thing a few weeks ago. And when I came out here, I'd eat a few of them. And I let birds get most of them. But you see a bunch of them coming back. So I have some more to eat. Here's some small watermelon plants here I stuck here. I didn't think they'd do anything, but I had them. So I put some seed in the pot and let it sprout, and now I put it out here. All this stuff here came from some bird feed that I had out here. So I have no idea what it is. I'm waiting for something to happen to it and find out. There's my robin nesting shelf I built out of concrete. Nothing stayed in there either. This little patch of green came from the stone crop. I'm seeing what it'll do. Here's a sunflower plant just starting to bloom. I guess that's another one behind it. Here's 2 more. See, it's getting ready to bloom right there. And so is this one back here. That one's getting ready to bloom. I guess that's another one of those camellia bushes. I bought them. I don't remember what I bought. This is my maggot maker I'm giving a try. Maggots drop out the bottom of it. And lizards eat them. I got a bunch of lizards right here. And I think the chipmunks eat them. I got a few chipmunks. And I know the birds eat them. And I know my little beagle eats them. There's a little birdhouse. And I forget what that is. I think it's supposed to be a ladybug house, but I ain't never had no ladybugs use it. I need to put the top back on it right. And there's a little, we call it a bird bath, but I have it down here so other stuff can get to it. I need to put some water in it today. And there's a frog house. There's a bee house. I made all that crap out of concrete. Here's my butterfly bush. It's done real well. I've tried to make some cuttings and make some new butterfly bushes, but they ain't worked out for me. There's my pond, which is a black trough I buried in the dirt. And it's got a couple of little comets in it. And I got a couple of frogs live around here, and they use it. I'm anxious to see if I get me a bunch of frog eggs this year. I also got a couple of mystery snails in there. That right there was a sheep ear, and it didn't do well. These are tomatoes. I planted these in these buckets a little bit ago, and they're actually bearing fruit. I'm anxious to see how they do. Here's another sheep ear. It's supposed to be for the sun, but it's dying off. I planted like a juga in here. I thought it was for the sun, but turned out it's for the shade, so it all died off. Now here's my tomatoes. You see some of them are ripening up. They're getting ready to ripen. And that little bush here with the pink bloom, it was looking wonderful. And a couple of weeks ago, it started looking terrible. I don't know what happened to it. And it said it was for the sun, but I don't know, maybe it's too much sun. And here's my other tomato plant. See, it's looking wonderful. I'm going to make these tomato sandwiches in a couple of days when it gets through ripening up. Okay. Around here, I had planted some ajuga that was in the shade. It died. I planted a bunch of hostas that I had. They're doing good down there in the deeper shade. But the one I planted up here at this end, the two of those died off. This one's living. That one's living. That one's living. And that one's living. And I got 3 more living over there that I had over there for a different reason. I'm going to move them back over here and see if they do anything. Now this strip here, I filled that up with corn. I had 3 rows of corn planted there. Man, I thought I was going to have me a big harvest, but it didn't work out. They didn't come up at all. And those plants and those little plastic containers there is a watermelon. I just thought I'd give it a try. I may plant it somewhere. And it never did much, so I just never did anything with it. This is either Creeping Jenny or Creeping Charlie. And I planted it here at the same time I planted some periwinkle right next to it. Creeping Charlie's taken off and it's looking wonderful. And the periwinkles died off. Okay. This is a birdhouse. I ain't never done a whole lot with birds except when I first put it up for a while. I had birds in it. But it's done real well with wasps. I guess they built a big wasp nest in there. Here's my worm tubs. This one here, looking inside, is for my night crawlers. And the other one's for my red wigglers. And my night crawlers ain't done so well. But my red wigglers have done wonderful. And I really don't know why. This here is a worm trap. I'm just going to see if I can catch any worms. I stuck a banana in there and I don't see any worms. Y'all see anything? Nope. I'll have to redo that, see what happens. Now these plants here are gourds. Man, they're doing wonderful. Look at them. Going all the way back there. I'll try to step through here while stepping on anything. I don't see any fruit on them. I'd like to make me a couple of bird houses out of the pear-shaped gourds. I don't know what kind these are. They said on that they're assorted, so it could be the pear-shaped or it could be the things that look like green pumpkins. I don't know. But the plants are looking wonderful. I also planted me some watermelon back here and it didn't come up. But the gourds love this back here. I see a plant there. It looks like a gourd down there in the ground. It looks like a pumpkin. I do believe. Let's look here and see. See that gourd? It might be one of the pear-shaped ones. I don't know. I hope so. They make good birdhouses. I see a lot of blooms, but that's the only actual gourd I see so far. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow, y'all done seen my postage stamp. This shed was here when I moved in. And so I'm doing the best I can do with what I got. Just planting stuff around, see what grows. And what does good, I'll hang on to and plant again next year. And what don't, bye-bye. Oh, I forgot to show you. I also have 3 hummingbird feeders under here. I also got 2 on my front porch. I can't see if you can see that one. There's my 3rd one down there. I need to refill this one up here on the end. And but I like to sit here and watch the hummingbirds fight. Okay. Well, that's going to be it. Have a great day.